the heel is the character who gets booed in wrestling, and
Yes.
the babyface is the character gets cheered.
Yes.
So who are the top 5 heels in sports today? I think the first one is the most obvious. It's Draymond Green.
Yeah, he is. If he doesn't sign a WWE contract the day he retires, I'd be shocked. I mean,
Right.
the only reason he wouldn't is financials, not needing it. But
He could also. He's going to go into broadcasting, so he's not. I mean, I assume he wouldn't, but like he could easily step into the ring and be a heel immediately. But you know what? The crowd would love him so much that he could turn face at some point as well.
I mean, Draymond a few years ago, I loved. He's unwatchable now.
Was that after he put Rudy Gobert in a chokehold?
That was basically the tipping point for my affection for Draymond. I'm like, okay, he doesn't even give a shit about trying to play basketball anymore. He just wants to rile people up, rile up the crowds, get suspended, be on TV. Like it's annoying now, and his team sucks. And you can't go around acting like a bully when you suck. It's weird.
So he's the number 1 heel. My second heel is not an athlete, but he's a member of sports media, and that's Skip Bayless. I mean, I think Bayless, like, I don't know a person who is like, Jesus Christ, what is Skip talking about whenever he says something? It's, oh my God, did he really just say that? Like, and not necessarily in a good way either. He's outrageous to be outrageous and still doesn't think LeBron James is good. He's been calling him Prince James for 25 years.
He says things just to get clicks. He always has. Him and Stephen A. Smith originated this entire take process where you're just saying outlandish stuff no matter if you mean it or not. You just need a stance and you need to scream about it. That's who Skip Bayless is. He's a guy
At least Stephen A. Smith, I think he believes a lot of what he says. Skip, I know for a fact, well, I shouldn't say no for a fact. I have a high assumption that he just says shit to say shit, to be outlandish, to get views and clicks, and to rile people up.
Definitely. And because of his background in the Dallas dynasty, that's kind of where he got started. He was kind of the lead reporter for the Dallas Morning News and wrote multiple books on the Dallas Cowboys. He made friends
with Jerry Jones. He made friends with Jerry Jones and got inside access.
So he was also a failed high school athlete.
Yeah.
And he just has this bitter streak in him about athletes that is, it's just, I don't watch the guy. I'm glad he left ESPN because I don't watch Fox Sports because it's just a different channel.
It's so funny. It's such a heel beginning where he was like this prodigy in like middle school and like early high school and then just flattened out by the time he was a junior and like did not even go to college for it because he just couldn't. But anyway, great heel origin story. Skip Bayless sucks. The next heel, and this is more along the lines of like a Stone Cold or a Rock because I think you can really love him, but he is still a heel, and that's Jimmy Butler.
Yes, Jimmy Butler wants to be a heel, but he's actually plays too hard and is too likable.
He gets too over. He's too over.
Yeah. He's too good at what he does and too badass. Like when you try really hard, it's hard to hate you. So and it's not like he's there like trying to fight other people or being like a distraction or a bad teammate other than when he was in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, that's arguable.
That's arguable. But he seems like he just cares about his profession more than most people and doesn't respond to anything less.
Yeah, and if you don't live up to his standard of winning basketball or excellence or work ethic, then he will rip you apart. Now, he did get into a fight with Eric Spoelstra on the bench a couple of times, and Spoelstra, this is probably the most respected person in basketball, probably besides Pop. So, I mean, if you're getting into a fight with Spoelstra, that says something. But that's why I said he's along the lines of like a Rock in the early Rock stages when he was a heel.
It's tough for Butler because he was never supposed to be any of this.
Yeah.
So he's reached such heights where he's almost the best player, but never what really was and never really is going to be. And he's kind of maxed out. He went to the finals. I mean, where do you go from here? That team probably doesn't get back to the finals. It's just it's just other teams have just gotten so much better since then.
Now, the next heel is more up your alley, Matt. It is the 2017 Astros, and I specifically put down Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman.
Altuve's the heel out of the two of them. Altuve's the biggest heel in baseball. Altuve is the one who, if you know the video of him running to home, telling everyone not to touch his jersey because of his electronic device inside.
Because he would have been electrocuted.
he's the scummiest, and he smiles about it and he laughs about it. And you know what? He should, because if you get away with it, you win World Series and nothing happens to you, and all you do is get contract extensions, I'd probably be smiling too.
Very brief overview. The Astros cheated in the 2017 World Series when they had literally players wearing electronic devices to get tipping off pitches from the outfield. Am I describing that accurately, Matt?
Exactly. They were filming the catcher, relaying the signals to the batter either via trash can or electronic device.
Right.
And
Altuve was the main beneficiary from that cheating scandal.
Yes, but he was also kind of like the poster child for it.
Yeah. So he's definitely a heel. I mean, he's a great baseball player, and if he was on my team, I'd root for him. But everyone else in the country hates him. Yeah,
no one gets booed quite like him in the majors these days.
Yeah. And then my last heel, and we've talked about this fella quite a bit, Deshaun Watson.
Ooh. So it's hard to even call him a heel because when you're talking about heels, there's I brought up the term heat. Yes. So you want to generate heat. Heat is a positive thing, getting the crowd to boo you. What Deshaun Watson has is what's called go-away heat, which means they don't even want to come see you anymore. They don't. Right. They want you to go away. They're not going to spend their money until you get out of here. So he's beyond a heel. He's a heel that would be fired from any other promotion other than the NFL.
Right, because what he's done is so despicable that you can't even present it as like a character worthy of booing, because you're just like, get this piece of shit off of my screen.
So were you going to ask me if I had any heels?
Do you have any?
I don't know. You just kind of did your own thing. So I thought of while we were doing this, I'm just looking at you, waiting for you to say his name, and you just never did. There's only one heel in sports, and there always has been only one heel in sports that has ever really been a heel, and he passed away yesterday, and his name's Pete Rose. He is the king of all heels. He was the guy that was going to run you over at catcher, spit on your shoes. He was going to trip you. He was going to lie to you. He was going to steal from you. He was going to take your children away from you. That's what kind of human being Pete Rose was. Rest in peace, Pete Rose, but that dude was as bad of a seed as you're ever going to find playing professional sports, and he milked it for every dollar it was worth. And we had this conversation.
And then bet on it outside of baseball and got suspended forever, exiled from the sport.
Yeah, I mean, the best was that he denied all those years that he didn't gamble on baseball, and then just moves to Vegas. It's just like he's like, I got to be right there, and spends literally the last 30 years of his life in casinos every day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Rest in peace, though, Pete Rose.
But he is the Pete Rose Heel Award should be given out each year to the best heel in sports. This year would be Draymond, and also Draymond should get a Lifetime Achievement Pete Rose Heel Award.
That's a fair point. Also, honorable mention for heel in sports, Roger Goodell.
Yes, he's actually great because he's hateable and he doesn't understand why.
Right, he doesn't know why people hate him.
He doesn't understand why his face is punchable. He doesn't get it.
Yeah. So those are our professional sports heels. I guess biggest heels in sports today, as we'll call it.